Dire Straits, Walk of Life. All right, a couple different parts here that we can arrange for organ and what have you. But otherwise, some pretty straightforward kind of bluesy progressions. So let me just play each section for you here, and then afterwards I'll go through each one and give you all the details. Here we go. Okay, for starters, we could do this intro first organ, and it's just kind of playing some chords. Okay, and we can get pretty close with it here. We do like a higher voiced of an E. Okay, first measure, do 4 on the E, 4 on the G, 5 on the B. Okay, hold it for about a measure and a half, and then we're going to do a little transition chord here, which will be like the bottom half of a B. Okay, so 4 on the G and B, 2 on the E. Alright, and then start the third measure by doing the bottom part of an A chord. So second on the G and B, open E. Okay, we're going to hold that for about a measure and a half. Alright, and then we're going to take what we had there, just kind of bar all the 2s and hammer on the E2 to the 4. Okay, and that'll lead us to our next chord, which would be just that B again. Alright, hold that for about a measure and a half. Then you want to hit the 4 on that B as a little transitional note, and then start the next measure with the A. Okay, and then a transitional note here with the 4 on the E. Okay, to finish off with the B. Okay. All right, so let me just put this all up to tempo for you now. Okay, and now the second organ comes in for the intro, and this is kind of like the main riff of the song, really. All right, it happens a few times throughout, and probably the more recognizable part of the song, where we just hit this plate here on the 6 of the D, just hit it twice for a measure. Okay, next measure, we're going to do this 4 to 6 hammer on, and then we'll hit the 4 on the G under it. Okay, and then come off of that with a 4 on the 6 to 4 on the D. Alright, and then we kind of start over now with the 2s on the D. Okay. And we rest that for about a measure and a half. Then we do 4 to 6 on the D again. And then we hit a couple of 4s under that on the G. Okay, hold that. And then we do 4 to 6 hammer on D, 4 G, then we do the 6, 4 on the D. Okay, and then back to the 2s. Okay, hold that for that measure, and into the next measure, we just do a quicker version of the 4 to 6 hammer on D, 4 G, and then we go 6, 4, 2 on the D. Okay, and then we just essentially start it over. Okay, so let me just put this all together now. now we get some acoustic guitar coming at the intro, and it's just going to kind of strum chords, you know, one per measure. And start with the E. Okay, 2 measures worth there. Then do an A for 2 measures. Okay. B for 2 measures. Alright, and then here we switch it up. We do A for 1 measure. And then B for a measure. Okay, nice little easy progression there. Okay, and now we get into this this guitar section. This is what's happening while that main organ riff is going off, and essentially it's just kind of doing some like little blues patterns here, but they're pretty fun to play because they're just really cool tone and style on them here. So just kind of like choppy little notes. You put a little bit of like slap echo on there to sound cool, right? And you just kind of want to keep these notes just staccato, just like okay, just short little abbreviated notes. All right, so we're going to do this little scale initially here, which will be in the key of the E that's going off here, and it's going to be a couple of opens, okay, a couple 4s on the A to a couple of 2s, and then a quick 4-2 on the A. Okay, so it's something like okay, that type of deal, and you want to do that twice. Right, and then after that, we're going to jump up to A and essentially just take that exact thing we did, but just bring it up a set of strings. Okay, so a couple open A's to a couple 4s on the D, a couple 2s on the D, and then 4-2 on the D. All right, do that twice. All right, and now we're going to get to B, but B we change it up a little bit, and we do a couple of bass notes here on the second of the A. But then we bounce between the 4s on the D, G, B, and then hit the bass note, and then hit the 4s again. Okay. Alright, and just before that last measures out with the B, hit the 4 on the E as a little transitional note. Okay, now we get back to the A pattern. Okay, that same A pattern we did. But you just want to do it once. Alright, so go through the A pattern once, and then we cap off that by doing this little scale down in B, okay, which will be a couple 2s on the A to a couple of opens, a couple 4s on the E to a couple 2s on the E. Alright, and then that would get us right back into the start of the pattern. Alright, so now let me just do the whole thing up to tempo here. Alright, on to the verse section, and this will have like a lot of similar elements we've seen. Like it's going to kick off with that E pattern that we did for the main organ riff there with the guitar. Okay, so we're still doing our little scale there. Okay, but this time you're going to do about 8 measures worth. So just do that 8 times. Okay, it goes on for a little while. Okay, about 8 times. And then we'll jump to that A, and we'll keep that the same. Do that twice. Okay, now we go back to the E pattern. Do it twice. Okay, do the A pattern twice. Alright, but now we're going to switch it up. We just do a kind of an open E. You know, you can just kind of hit like the power chord of it. Alright. But you hit that and you just hold it and rest. Okay, 1 measure's worth, and into that next measure of it, we do this little, solo thing up here. Quick little thing. Be a bend at the 14 of the G, hit a 12 E, and then release that 14 of the G. Okay, come off to 12 G, and then 14 D. Right. And then we cap this section off, the first part of it anyway, by doing these little scales here with a E, we're going to do 4 opens, and then a couple of 4s on the E to a couple of open A's. Okay. Alright, and that'll get us to a B. And with this B, you just kind of want to go through it, you know. Okay, something like that. Just hit it 4 times. Alright, and then go back to an E now, where we do 4 open E's, 2 seconds on the A, and then 2 4s on the E. Alright, and that'll get us to some open A's. I'll just do about 4 of those. Alright, so now let me just put this whole first part of the verse together for you now. Alright, right from the top. Alright, and we wrap up the verse pattern. I guess you could technically call this the chorus. It's just kind of where like the the title of the song is, so I guess it's the chorus. But I just like to think of it as just the end of the verse. Okay, and it's just kind of some little scales here, some little quick little scales, and we're doing first measure will be E, and it's going to be a couple of opens. Then we go 4-2 quickly on the A to a couple of open D's, and then do another 4-2 on the A. Okay. Alright. And that'll get us to 2nd fret on the A for the B section. Just hit about 4 times. Okay. And then with this A section, it's just kind of a couple of notes. We hit an open A, then a 2nd on the E. And we just draw them out a little bit. Okay. And then we finish it all off with this B scale. Okay, and it'll be a couple of seconds on the A, couple of open A's, a couple of 4s on the E, a couple of 2s on the E. Okay, that little descending scale. Alright, so now this whole second part of the verse all together for you. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.